Hello, everybody. How are you? I hope everyone is fine at home. Stay at home and stay safe. Today, I'd like to talk about some short notes related to history of English literature. As we have some online classes, I was thinking that it would be very helpful if I share some of the short notes related to oral literature that is also involved in Old English, or what can I say, Anglo-Saxon literature. So let's talk about it. I hope it would be very helpful for you to make some short notes and to make some assignments as well. As you already know that Beowulf is the earliest and greatest epic poem of English literature, which is heroic poem as well, and it's more than 3,000 lines. That means the epic or the heroic poem consists of 3,182 lines. So, if you get a question like talk about or write something about Beowulf, so you have to start like this by doing or by thinking what is the mark. If it's related to 3 marks or if it's related to 5, at that moment you have to write more. But it doesn't mean that it's saying what happened and what is the story. Yes, of course, if the question is all about related to Anglo-Saxon literature or Old English literature, you have to start with that, as I have mentioned in my previous video. And after that, if you have to talk about Beowulf, at that moment you can talk or you can write like doing Beowulf was very what can I say, heroic personality, and he was very brave enough, he was very strengthful, and he was courageous as well. That's why another in the writing we have got he was also mighty swimmer, and he also fought with the monster, as we know that the name was Grendel. And after what can I say, after fighting with him, he won, but he died. That means Beowulf died with the fairy, or what can I say, it was full of Grendel's mother's fairy and breath. Okay, so you can at least give some summarization of the total thought, but it doesn't mean that you have to make the total story from the very beginning, top to bottom. Okay, so make sure you can mention, you are going to mention the Beowulf starts with the prologue. Okay, as we know that the prologue starts the epic poem or heroic poem, but the prologue was not important at that time, because the prologue was not essential for the essential part of the story as well. So another thing, you can get another question that can be related to the seafarer, the wanderer, wife's lament, the husband's so whatever it's like. It's all about the writing. So these writings are all about the seafarer. Suppose you know that, as we have already mentioned in the previous video, that Old English literature or Anglo-Saxon period, it was already involved in some related to ocean life. Okay, so in that type of writing, specifically the seafarer, if it's like that, so in this writing they mentioned the hardship of ocean life. Okay, and some allegorical meaning will be there. Suppose the question is talking about the seamen or the troubles they have faced, so it's already discussed here. But sometimes the troubles are also symbolizing another thought. That means the life or the problems we are facing in our life, this is also one kind of symbol that has been shown there. Another part that is related to the call, okay, the call of the ocean. The call of the ocean is also talking about the ups and downs. It's like the what can I say, the dead thing, or the life and death situation, or sometimes it can be related to our soul. Okay, that means it can be up and away to our true home. That means our true home is not in this world. Okay, afterworld is expressing here. That means the world with our creator. And another thing that has been mentioned, you can talk about like the possibilities and the uncertainty as well. That means in Seafarer or this type of writings, people thought some possibilities. Life is very charming, or life has some possibilities. Okay, that means sometimes pessimistic view is also involved, and sometimes optimistic views are also here. That is why uncertainty and possibilities are also here. Another person, he is none other than King Alfred. I would like to mention that if you get one question related to King Alfred, you have to at least, if you don't get any kind of question related to King Alfred, you have to talk about it, because it's all about history of English literature, and the first part, that means Old English literature or Anglo-Saxon period. So you have to talk about the contribution of King Alfred. As you know that King Alfred, he was none other than, he was also a king, and besides this, he has some contribution to the English literature. Specifically, he translated Latin to English. That means Latin language was there, and he translated from Latin to English. And another person I'd like to mention that, okay, before him I'd like to talk about King Alfred's another contribution, and this is none other than what can I say, Anglo-Saxon Chronicle. And besides this, we have to remember his contribution to the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, and the people he tried to cope up with other people and everyone. He was very literate, and within this time, by this time, priest Aelfric was also here, and with King Alfred, priest Aelfric was also a great pioneer of English prose. Okay, so King Alfred's contribution you can make talking about he wrote sermons. Okay, and another topic that I am also going to talk about, this is alliteration. Okay, because alliteration is very important. Okay, so that is why I'd like to talk about alliteration, and I tried to mention some words related to alliteration. That means some accented words are here, and sometimes in poem, okay, in poem we have got the word, or sometimes words are making a sound with the consonant same sound. Suppose the line ends here or starts here, and at the last we have got the same consonant sound. So this is all about alliteration. So you have to also mention this topic. And another thing that I have also mentioned in my previous video, so you can have a look, but I am going to talk about it with a summarization, like Caedmon's hymns, you already know it, and another person who is none other than Cynewulf. Okay, so last but not the least, try to mention some of the contributions related to Bede. Okay, so some biblical themes will be here: Genesis, the dream of the road, the story of Judith, and Bede, who wrote history. He has very good contribution to Old English literature, and he wrote astronomy. Specifically, he has some contribution related to the history or the story of the census life. Okay, or sometimes it can be related to it was also involved in some of the martyrs lives. Okay, so I hope this type of conversation will be very very helpful for all of you to make some notes or whatever you call, like to get some preparation for your exams, to make some short notes or sometimes some fill up the gaps or whatever you call, like, but make your preparation to attend the exam. As I have already mentioned, it can be related to mark 3, or it can be related to 5 marks as well. Okay, so best of luck everyone, take care, try to watch videos. If you feel any kind of queries, let me know and comment down below. Okay, take care, stay at home and stay safe.